there, happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining me tonight. We are continuing on the embroidery of the month. It's the little vintage sewing machines. We have this one, which looks just like my sewing machine. And then we have the kind of the Singer sewing machine one too. I think we'll be able to stitch both of these this week. This whole week is embroidery of the month week. So yesterday we got all of the black done on our first machine, and we'll be stitching more of that up today. So thanks for joining me here. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for the beginning crafter, and I am here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together. So I'm here for about an hour, and I work on projects from beginning to end, so you can be part of the whole process along the way. So thanks again for joining me. Let's get started on this Kenmore, vintage Kenmore sewing machine. All right, so here we go. These are the two samples again. These are the two designs that come with the pattern and the bundle. You get both of these with the pattern and bundle. So we're working on this one first. This is the one that looks just like my sewing machine here. So there we go. This one, it looks just like this guy here. So that one's modeled after that. And then this guy is modeled after my husband's great-grandma's sewing machine, Singer sewing machine, which we also have here at the house. So I'll have to bring that down at some point this week. So let's see where we're at. We got all of the black done on here. So all the black stitching is there. I think I'm going to move on and do I think I'm going to do the gray next. Let's just get that other kind of neutral color out of the way. So the wheel, the light, a lot of the mechanisms down here, I think we'll cruise through it pretty quickly. And then we'll do some of the gold next. I do have my pattern, my digital pattern here. This comes with both the bundle and the digital pattern. So it has what stitches to do and what colors to do and some extra notes and stuff on there. So I'm going to have this open while we work, just so I can see it, and let's scooch down. So you guys know that I'm, if I'm figuring out what the next stitch is or the next color, it is from looking at looking at my iPad right there. Okay, got my cute little cloud needle minder tonight. This is the first time I'm using it. I just got it. All right, so nice I'm seeing your comments pop in and stuff too. Hello. All right, let's get the gray. So this is our thunder color. I am using that 2-strand method where we take one strand and fold it in half. That's been really fun. I'm just stitching with the 2 strands for this. So I'm going to double this up again and get the 18 to 24 inches or so once it's doubled up. So it's actually 36 to 40 inches. I'm going to just snip, and we'll get a single strand out of here. So I'm just kind of isolating that one strand like so, and then we'll pull on just that one strand. So it gets all crazy, but once the strand comes out, it all relaxes. All right, we'll set that to the side and get started with this piece right here. So I'm going to bring those two ends together again. And that's also the side that we are going to thread through the needle. Let's get them equal. If it's hard to get in, if the ends are a little bit fuzzy, feel free to snip them. But there we go. Okay, let's see. Well, we got some gray up here. This little jobby is gray, and then all this down here is gray. And then this little knob, the light, and the wheel. So I think I'm just going to go counterclockwise around. I'm going to start right with that little tension knob up there. I'm not going to worry about this line that's going through it because that's going to be in front of this. So I'm happy I'm stitching this first before that. All right, so I'm starting my normal back stitch. I'm going to pull through until I have that little loop, and then I'm going to grab my needle through that loop, put the needle through the loop, and then we'll pull tight. So that is how we're starting this thread. That's why I folded the thread in half, so I had that loop on that end. Kind of a fun way to start stitching. All right, and this is basically all backstitch, these little lines. But we kind of cruised through this yesterday, so I'm hoping we can get pretty far on this today. Actually, I'm hoping we can get almost close to done. Maybe done except for like the little satin stitch heart or something. Because I would love to start on the second design tomorrow. I think we can get both done this week. All right, jumping over to the little arm. I really should learn the names of the anatomy of the machines. I know it, and then it just leaves me right away, so that's a problem. Lots of little stitches on this one. So many little threads get run through this part of the machine on the Kenmore here. So I hope everyone had a lovely day today. It got chilly here, and I think it might be. I think it's supposed to get to below 0 by the weekend, so that's exciting. All right, there we go. Next up is all of this down here. I'm going to go into the backs of the stitches so I'm not jumping so far, so I'm just going to kind of just weave in the backs of the stitches for a moment just to get down to the next spot there. And let's see, lots of little fun shapes here. Oh, Gretchen, I didn't get to see any of that yet, so I'm hoping to take a look at that later this week. My Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I'm at the warehouse, so I don't get to see anything, but I heard about it, though. That it was a really nice tribute. I'll have to check it out when we're done here. So kind of a lot going on down in this little spot here. Got the little screw to hold the needle in. Let's get that screw. So it's these little itty bitty areas that I'm happy that I'm using just the 2 strands of floss instead of my normal 3 strands, because this is a lot of little detail down in here. So it's nice to have like a thinner bit of floss instead of the thicker 3 strands. Oh, no, Alina, that's what I love about this machine too. Just the lines. It's just so like cubical. Like, just all the angles and everything to this machine are so interesting, especially with when, like, you know, in my head, you think of like a vintage sewing machine, and you do think more of like the curvy Singer sewing machines, and you know, all the different brands that have that like typical curved body. So like to have one so kind of industrial, like it's just a bunch of flat plates that they soldered together sort of look is just kind of interesting, and I love it. Okay, jumping down here. The little front plate to the machine. Hoping we'll have, I think we'll have plenty of thread down here, and I'll probably stop this thread and start a new one for this next area because I don't think I have enough thread to jump up there and do more. So I think we'll do the light next, then like travel here, do this little knob, and then I'll maybe try and scooch around up here to the wheel. And then I think that's it for the gray, so that's not going to take too long. It's kind of fun doing these itty-bitty designs. They get done quickly. There'll probably be more of those in the future. And I like that you can still have a detailed piece if it's this small, which is neat. Especially if you're just stitching with the less amount of threads. We'll get 3 more in this little space. Tracy, I'm using 2 strands of thread of floss this time. There is a note of that in the pattern, so that's a little bit of a reminder. So I'm using 2 strands. Typically I use the 3, but since this is more detailed, I'm using the 2 strands, which will give me just thinner lines. I'm not using it because it's more detailed. I'm just thinking in my head, man, this is detailed. I want thinner lines, or I want thin lines so I can see all that detail, and I'm using 2 strands to kind of achieve the thinner line versus the 3 strands, which I kind of typically use. And I wanted an excuse to use that starting method where you fold the 1 strand in half. That's such a nice, easy way to start a piece of thread, and you need the even amount of threads. So that's kind of another excuse to do the 2 strands. All right, that was the first strand of gray. Let's do. Okay, so I am using, maybe that's what's, this could be confusing. I'm actually only taking 1 strand out of the thread. So I'm only taking 1 strand. There we go, there's my 1 strand, but I am folding it in half. So that gives me the 2 strands. There's a few different ways to start with 2 strands like this, but I am really liking where we go through that loop method that we've been doing with the 2 strands. Okay, let's do this guy. So I think I'll start here, go around and end up here, go down and get this little knob here. That's my forward or reverse stitching knob. And then, like I said, maybe I might jump across here just because I know that there's other stitches here. Otherwise, I'd kind of travel around. But because I know I'll be putting more here, I might just jump over. I might actually need to start a whole other piece of thread for this. We'll see. That wheel looks like it's got a lot of surface area happening. Oh, Gretchen said I forgot to do that. So forgot to do the 2 strands. That's fine. I think it'll look. Actually, I'd love to see it. If any of you guys did a different number of strands, like if you did the 3 strands. 3 strands is what I typically do. So I'd be curious what the 3 strands looks like. I mean, really, all that's going to be different is the lines will be just a hair thicker and maybe even unnoticeably thicker, just a teeny tish thicker. But really, that's, the only thing. So I'm stitching this lamp on here now, but the lights on there's a version of this machine that it's still the same body shape, like this weird angular body shape. But I think it's from the 40s. This one's from 1938, but I think the 40s version, like the late 40s version, the light, right? I have this silver light on mine, but the late 40s ones, they actually have a light that's the same as, like, that same crinkle finish, and it's super angular too, so it's kind of mimics the shape of the actual machine, but it's a light. I always thought that was really cool when I researched these machines a little bit more. But the silver one's growing on me, just because I know that this one's older. I like that. But that lamp that's on it, that's all angular and the same finish as the machine, is just so cool too. Ooh, I agree, Gretchen. Gretchen says that how cute would this be on a sewing pouch? That'd be fun. Yeah, like I like my little bags for emergency craft supplies. On the go craft supplies, I guess. Oh, Robin, you have that one. Oh, for fun. So Robin says that she has that one. So the machine that has the light on it that's all angular. So Robin, let me know what year yours is from. I think those ones were a little bit later than this, but I don't 100% know the history of these very well. It's harder to find info on. I actually got one of the lights off of eBay because I was going to put it on this one before I realized that this was more original to my particular machine, I think. So I do actually have one of those lights. It's a different color though. It's the brown. So this came in a few different colors. I think black, brown, and green, maybe? Like an army kind of green. The brown is very close to this black, but it's like a dark brown. So that lamp that I got from eBay, the angular one, is the brown. I probably should put it back up on eBay since I'm not going to use it on this machine anymore. Actually, I should throw it up. I'm in a, there's a Facebook group for everything, right? So I'm in a like vintage Kenmore Facebook group. Maybe someone there would want that lamp. It looks cool though, but if I'm not going to use it, then better used if someone else has it. I would need to like learn how to rewire it and all that too, and someone else can have it. Let me know, you guys. Do any of you guys do eBay, like sell old things, like, if you're cleaning up your house, or go thrifting and then resell it on eBay? I'd be interested if anyone did that. We're gonna start, I think, going through our stuff and just kind of like, what can we get rid of? And we thought we'd try eBaying some of it. All right, I'm gonna zip over here. So I'm curious what any of yours experiences are. Oh, Robin, you have the brown one. It's practically black, the brown one. I think the crinkle finish is so cool, though. I think different brands call it different things, but I think the Kenmore ones call it a crinkle finish. Oh, Gretchen wants to learn how to enlarge designs on the printer. Oh, yeah, I could do a little tutorial on that sometime, for sure. Oh, so Gretchen, you said you use eBay and Facebook Marketplace is great, and you've used Craigslist as well. Yeah, I got a lot of like kind of quilt books I'm looking to get rid of too. So, man, you know, and Tracy says we just sell on a local exchange. Oh, that's a good idea. I should look into that. I'm sure we have a whole pile of those here. Um, but yeah, maybe I'll put together, because I'm going to have some quilting books and I don't know what else, but like craft related things. Probably not supplies. I have a hard time getting rid of craft supplies. But I know I'm ready to clear our bookshelf up a little bit. So maybe I'll put some of my crafty books up in the group or something one of these days. Yeah, I think I'm going to need another piece of thread. Dang it. There's a lot to this wheel yet. I was suspecting that would be the case. Oh well. We'll get one little piece of thread for a couple stitches. Lost at thread, chicken. Ah well. We have a lot of actually kind of largish furniture that it'd be nice to get rid of too, so that'd probably be a good place for Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, really, I suppose. Those local type ones, because we have an old, like, I don't know, an armoire that's actually kind of like a cheap armoire, but you know, we've had it for a long time and we just don't use it anymore. And an old chair and I don't know, just some other things. Oh, interesting. Nolene says, I had an eBay antique and collectibles store online for years, sold heaps of shoes. Oh, and you still have lots of colored glass. Ooh, fun. That's fun. Oh, man. See, I would just kind of love to do that, I think. Someday, like, once I'm retired or something, or I don't know. You know, I don't know. It would be fun to just find furniture, like flip furniture and find antiques and go thrifting and like flip them or clean them up, and I don't know. I just think that would be so fun. Like you find the little treasures and turn them around so that they're just cleaned up and nice again, or you know, fix it up, you know, screw things back together and wipe it down. Like, I don't know, just that restoration stuff and reselling it, I just think would be just a really kind of fulfilling hobby. So once I can have a hobby again, once I'm not so crazy busy, then I think that'd be really fun. Oh, I'm gonna have to get a new piece of thread for like 3 stitches. Ugh. And it'd be annoying to stretch this, so I'm just gonna do that. I really don't want to do that though. I don't think I can get... I don't know. Can I get all these in one stitch? I'm gonna try and do that forward and then backwards method that sometimes can stretch out my thread and have it kind of look like back stitch. Oh god, this is a bad idea. Oh, I really want to do it though. Ugh, we're gonna have the like tiniest little piece to weave in, but one at thread chicken though. Take that. All right, let's weave that in. Oh, I might even have enough to weave it in just easy peasy too. Well, and that's it for the gray, so that didn't take long. It's not even 9 yet. So that took only like 25 minutes or so. So I'm going to switch to the gold next, or the goldenrod color specifically. Oh man, that is just enough thread. All right, it's looking kind of fun on the back too, actually. All right, there we are so far. So next up, I'm gonna get the gold color. I know this is a whole lot of it, so let's just, I'm looking at the design here. It's all the thread. Oh, it is all the thread. So I'm gonna do the thread last because that's where I'm gonna go like one strand across. So let's see, I wonder if I should stitch this with one thread too. Well, this part here and these little details there are going to be with the 2 threads yet for sure. And then I'll, I don't know, maybe I should do this orange first. Then I can get this little bit. I think I might do the orange first. We're gonna change this up a little bit. We're going to switch to some satin stitch. I want to get these 2 little bits of orange. That's supposed to be kind of like our little Aurifil, our little Aurifil top. Oh man, that is like almost the exact same color there. Ooh, that's cool. But we'll just get that itty bitty bit there, tiny bit, and then we'll do this satin stitch. Actually, maybe I'll do the satin stitch first because then I can start with that loop method. And if I have extra, I'll weave it in and just do these couple little stitches without using the loop method because I would have to do, like the one thing with the loop method that I don't like is that, you know, your loop's on the starting end and then you have like 2 ends on the other end. So if you finish early and snip it, then you just have 2 strands on your needle. You can't like do the loop method again with the same piece of thread, if that makes sense. You'd have to get a whole new end to do that. So I think we'll do the loop method for here, and then I can easily weave in the ends of these stitches there. Yep, Gretchen, this is the California Poppy color. Okay, just grabbing my 1 strand here. And for this satin stitch, you really could stitch with more strands, or, you know, if you really wanted a super fancy satin stitch, you could stitch with just 1 strand, but I'm going to do the 2 still. And I think my needle's hiding on the back here. Yep. Cute little needle minder. All right. Satin stitch. So I'll probably, when I satin stitch hearts like this, oh, does it say goldenrod? Oh no, so this is, it should say California Poppy. So like right here, it's this color here, California Poppy. The goldenrod is all of, like these gold colors. So, but this orange, and then the little bit up there is the California Poppy. Oh yeah, so for satin stitch on here, you start on one side and you go to the other side and then you come back to your original side and you just keep going that like that over and over again, like starting from one side and then going like around in a circle almost. So for hearts, I do kind of like starting on the points and then working my way up one side and then coming back and working my way the other way. So I think that's what I'll do here too. So we'll see. I'm not sure I've done the loop method with a satin stitch, but I suspect it's almost like going through the same hole, which doesn't work all that well for satin stitch. So I'm gonna like loop it up like up here. Ugh, I don't know if it's gonna want me to do this. This loop method might not be the best method, but I know how I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna do the one stitch like this, and then instead of coming back in the same, like very close to the same spot, which might make me like pull the loop through, instead I'm gonna put a couple other stitches up along the side, just one really. So this is gonna be just kind of my guide for stitching straight. So there we go. I got 2 straight stitches. Now I'm going to go back down here, and just having that extra little straight stitch in there will help guide me as I satin stitch, so I can keep the rest of my stitches straight. It'll just help seeing that there. Satin stitch can be a bit tricky with the stick and stitch stabilizer on here, but we're going to do our best. Jill asks, "Don't I hate playing thread chicken?" Not when I win. Then I feel like I beat the system a little bit. I feel like, ha! I know exactly how much thread it takes to do something. I feel like I do beat it more lately than I don't. But, you know, like I had to do that little trick of doing actually a forward stitch, then a back stitch, and then a forward stitch, which I don't think, sometimes it can make, like, if you did that for your whole entire back stitch, I mean, it would look like a back stitch on the front, but on the back, it would look a hair different, which is fine, but sometimes I feel like you're stabbing the thread weird when you go that forward and then backwards. So I try and stick to back stitch when I can, but yeah, in a pinch, when I'm coming up to the end of that thread, I'll sometimes throw a forward stitch in there. Alright, we're almost done with the first half. Well, that didn't take long either. Maybe we will get this whole puppy done today. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, I think that looks pretty good for the first half. So now I'm going to jump back down to the center here. Actually, why don't I jump over and make another straight line? I think that was helpful because all my stitches look really nice and straight up and down. So having that guide, that extra little guide in here, I think was helpful. It's almost straight. Straight enough. Ooh, I kind of feel like I might run out of floss on this heart, which I didn't want to do. I wanted to use a tiny little bit up there. Oh, it's folded over quite a bit yet. I'll have enough. Satin stitch does tend to take up a lot of thread, though, in general. Jill says, yes, you do feel almost like you have won the Olympics when you beat the thread. Exactly. Although I suppose I don't have an Olympic... I haven't won the Olympics, so I don't have that to compare to. but we'll go with it. Alright, maybe 4 more stitches or so, I think. This is going to be a cute little fat heart. Alright, and I think I'll have just enough thread to weave in and get those 2 little tiny little bits of orange up top there. Yeah, let's add 1 more itty bitty stitch in here. Alright, there they are. They look pretty even. That's cute. I like that. Oh man, it looks pretty nice on the back too. Got another basically satin stitched heart on the back. I'm going to weave in the ends. And now I think I'll have just enough thread on here to, first of all, snip it away. And then I will weave it in, like right here. Okay. So this is the normal way that I usually start and stop my thread, is by weaving it in. But we've been doing that loop method, which is awesome. But I don't have that loop anymore because I cut this thread, but I still want to use the leftover. So instead of the loop method, we got to use our normal weave in the ends method. Not quite as fun. All right, and this is going to bother me, so I'm going to snip that little itty bitty bit away. Okay, so now we can do these couple of little stitches. It's just this right here. I'll just even go across in one little bout. And 3 little stitches up here, and that will be that. Ooh, then we only have one color left, just the gold. And that's it. Oh, Kimberly's asking what this little cloud is. So this is a needle minder. I got a couple needle minders around Christmas, and this was one of them, and I thought I'd play with it. I'm kind of getting used to using needle minders. They're kind of fun, though. So it's a little needle minder. I'll take it off in a sec here. There. There's the little Aurifil tops. I think I'm going to actually jump down here to weave in the end again. There's not much to weave in up there. Well, that worked swell with the remaining floss there. All right, so there's a magnet on the back there. How this one is done is, I mean, I'm learning more about needle minders because I'd like to make some, but like this one, these magnets are so strong though, I don't know. It almost feels like you're going to injure yourself by how strong these are. So someone just glued, glued 2 little strong, or glued a magnet to this side and then included an extra little magnet in there. But yep, just my cute little needle minder. Actually, I might put him out of the way. I think I'm going to put him down here for the time being. I kind of like it away from where I'm stitching, and next I'm going to be stitching this gold, and then I'll be stitching the final little bit that's just like one thread. Let's see, how should I go about doing that? I think I'll stitch these guys first. Yeah. Alright, so I'm just kind of, yeah, holding, like I was literally holding it, the magnet in the palm of my head, like this far away from the other magnet, and it jumped right up there. There, so then I can hold my needle there while I'm thinking. Alright, this is what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, isn't that neat, Kimberly? Yeah, so Marie actually made me these 2 needle minders. So I don't know if she's on tonight on YouTube, but she usually is on YouTube. So she sent me these guys. So again, it's just 2 magnets, and you stick it on either side, and you got, you know, a cute little, you can throw your needle there for a little. This one was too big though for this project. And then the other one I have, I know like these are, people collect needle minders, and I totally want to make some penguin and fish ones. So stay tuned for that at some point. But this is that other one that I got for Christmas, basically for myself, I suppose. 2 little cardinals, and this one has a really big magnet on the back. Now this one has just a magnet, and then it it just is a flat surface, like so, which is kind of nice because then it can lay flat on the thing. But this magnet is so strong, I'm actually kind of scared to put it back by the metal. There, because I think this would pinch like my finger and, you know, injure me, honestly. But if you were stitching like a quilt, like hand stitching a quilt, or yeah, just any hand quilting, this would be strong enough for that. Like I think you could put the whole quilt in between it, and the magnet would still attach to the top. So I'm waiting to do some kind of hand stitching to give, or like, you know, working on a binding or something to give that a try. But for now, it's just looking pretty in in my area here. Yeah, they're called needle minders, though. So, yeah, I mean, if you look online, like on Etsy or something, there's oodles and oodles of them. Basically, anything that you can stick two magnets on. But oftentimes, they're like those kind of pin-looking ones. Alright, I'm grabbing my one thread out of here. Ooh, that one has kind of like a little fuzzle in the middle. It'll be fine. Alright. Yeah, a little bit of fuzz. Alright, what should we do first? Well, maybe we just kind of go up the root here. So why don't I stitch this thing first, then this little plate, and then I think I'm going to go around the thread with the two strands, but all these little thread lines on the inside. Maybe I'll just do that with the one strand when I do these little bits, and I'll get a new piece of thread for that. So we'll do this around the top here, and maybe I'll have enough to scooch over here and do that too. I don't know if I really got that much thread here, but if not, we'll get another piece. Okay, these are a bit fuzzy, so I am going to snip a nice end. I don't know, can we finish this in 15 minutes? That'd be pretty cool. Then we can start on this guy tomorrow. That'd be neat. I'd love to get both of these done. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to do the loop method. Why did I start down there? I think I'll start up here, because then I can work my way around and end up right there. That's my plan. Okay, kind of getting that first kind of stitch going, and then we'll go to that loop, get the needle in there, pull it tight. All right. So this, on my machine, is the stitch length, and this little dial that you turn, that's where it says, or that's where you change it, but on here it says forward on black and reverse on red. So in here a little number will be, that's your stitch length. And it'll be red. If you turn this dial, it'll turn red. That means you're going in reverse. It's kind of fun. It's so just mechanical. Ooh, Kimberly's asking, have I ever worked with gold metallic threads? I have. I haven't worked with, so that can go a whole nother route. You can actually stitch with like gold wire and stuff. I haven't done that, but I have used like metallic floss before. I actually really like using that. We did actually use some of that for for over the holidays. We stitched, I might actually have it within hand's length here. Hold on a sec. Oh, where'd it go? I guess maybe I don't. I thought I had some of that Christmas stuff around yet, but I did use some when we stitched some of those small little icons. Over the holidays, we used some gold and silver thread for that, and it's so shiny and pretty. There is a brand that I like for that. It is, what is it? Oh, the Nishi Kiito. So it's by Cosmo Threads, and like the sub-brand of Cosmo Lycian. And they have a brand. It's actually kind of hard to find sometimes, I feel like, but it's Nishi Kiito, so like Nishi, I think Kii, T-O? Kiito. Yeah. Nishikiito. But that is like super metallic looking. And I just kind of love that. Oh, Colleen, if it's not working, I don't know if you can hear me anymore, but if it's not working for you, try refreshing, because I think we're still going here. But yeah, we'll have to stitch with that again. That would have been really fun to stitch with some of that gold for this. I think I actually have some black metallic. That would be kind of fun too. For the outside of that. This whole thing would be cute entirely of metallic. Okay, this is a little tiny bit actually has like quite a bit of surface area, so like maybe I won't make it all the way over there with my thread. It's not like this is just a little rectangle. There's all sorts of little baby stitches happening in here. The gold would have looked too shiny and new for this old machine. Oh, Amy says yours is still going. Okay, good. This cloud is so happy. I've actually seen, I think, someone else has this cloud and was using it. What I ultimately like about this one is that it's so little, so it's nice for this particular hoop size. Oh, good night, Robin. Yeah, let me know about needle minders too, because I definitely am looking to get some made, like some cute little designs and stuff. So if there is something that you want to see, I should do some of the logo characters for sure. That'd be neat. Alright, one last little stitch here. Alright, I'm going to just jump right up. Usually I don't like jumping around like this, but it's kind of floating here in space, so I suppose I do have to jump up here. That was funny. This California poppy color does look so close to that Aurifil orange, so I think it was just kind of fun. My little Aurifil thread up there looks just like my machine. Yep, I'm definitely not going to make it over there. But I can get this whole side done, I think. So if we can finish the Singer sewing machine embroidery as quickly as we did this one, that means on Friday we'll definitely be able to take the stick and stitch off of here and then press them nice. Then maybe we could wrap our hoop all cute or something, or do something to like frame one of these up nice. I think that'd be kind of neat. We might have time for all that. All right, so I'm going to just go around the outside of this. Typically, I would have liked to stitch the inside stuff first, but I do have this little piece of thread left. Oh, so Mariko is saying the nishikiito is the thread used in traditional Japanese embroidery. Oh, that's awesome. Huh. So maybe it's not just the brand name that they're using. Interesting, I didn't realize that. Oh, Kimberly is asking if I would consider a tutorial using metallic threads. I tried to once to outline some dragonfly wings and had a hard time. Okay, the thread kept breaking and bunching up. Okay, that is a typical trait of metallic thread in general. It is not the easiest thing to work with. That's another reason why I like this Nishikito stuff. It doesn't fray. It's more like real metal almost. It doesn't super fray like some metallic thread does. So it might be the quality of the thread, but just know it is not you. It is not the easiest thing to stitch with. It does get cranky. I would maybe try using maybe smaller pieces of thread, because every time you stick your needle into the thread and you pull your thread through the fabric, you're kind of causing friction on the thread from going through the fabric, and I don't think metallic floss likes that very much at all. And oftentimes metallic thread, actually most of the stuff that you can buy, at least from what I can see in your normal craft store, it's kind of like a white filament that they just have like kind of a metallic like stretchy nylon, I think, almost around it. So it's just a lot of different fibers trying to work together. So Gretchen says that the trick is the short lengths. I think try shorter lengths because of all that friction and it's rubbing. That might help a little, but it is not the easiest thing to work with. And then I would say like the next thing is to like upgrade to like the Nishikito. Lycian has some other metallic threads that are nicer than the normal as well. Ooh, guy's getting a little stuck here at the end. There we go. So that'd be my main recommendation. Yeah, the shorter strands, and that's not going to solve all the problems because it's still not the easiest or fun thing to work with. But yeah, so shorter strands, and then maybe getting some fancier stuff. Like I said, I really like that Nishikito because it's so shiny. It's like real metal. It's not like they just wrapped, some shiny stuff around another filament. It's like it's only a couple strands of that metallic. Yeah, darling dear, you're so much faster than me. I am trying to kind of go quick because I know I do have that whole other one to do. So I'm going slightly more than a leisurely pace here, for sure. And I'm pretty familiar with the design, so that helps speed things up too. But yeah, I kind of have running in my head that, okay, if I have to get this much done today, if I want to get do this take off the stick and stitch later, and kind of helps move things along. It's cooking though. I did not think I was gonna get the satin stitch here done. So we actually do only have a few minutes, but I think I'm going to finish this tonight. So I'm going to just stay till I have all this threaded, and I think threaded. I'm actually threading the machine. It's going to actually feel kind of like I'm threading the machine. So we'll stay till that's done. That's just a few stitches away. Yeah, I think a lot more people would stitch with a metallic thread if it wasn't such a bear to deal with. Because it is pretty. Oh, fun! Amy says, I just started a class with the Inktense pencils. It reminded me of when we colored the birds. I would love to do that again sometime. This would have kind of been fun to color in a little bit. I'll have to think about that for one of our next designs or something that we could, what we're talking about is you can actually take colored pencil or crayon and kind of tint your fabric before you stitch it. So like we could have kind of, we could have tinted this blue if we really wanted to. So we had like a little kind of blue, purple, something that hinted at black without without like making it black. But we could like shaded this a little bit beforehand with like actual colored pencil and then stitch the lines on there, and that would have been actually really fun to do. I suppose we wouldn't use the stick and stitch then. You'd have to trace it because obviously if I color on here and then take the stick and stitch away with the water later, you know, everything's coming with it. Alright, 4 more stitches, and I think we got this little thing. This is like another bit that has a lot more surface area than it did in my head when I started it. I feel like I've been in this small, tiny space for a while. This is the tension dial. Tension dial's on the front. Separate from the tension wheel is kind of down here, but it's controlled up here with a little pulley. Kind of fun. This machine was all sorts of rearranged when I found it. Like, you know, this guy isn't on the front, it's on the side. Everything was just out of place from what it was in my head with my other old machines. Alright, that's that. Got him filled in. Alright, let's weave in the ends, and then I'm going to get just the single strand. And I have this in the instructions too. It says the long sewing machine thread can be 1 long stitch, and then also use 1 strand for the sewing machine thread. So what I'm talking about right now is this part right here. Like, I even like have it going across like that, so it's almost as if you're really threading the machine. So I think that's kind of fun. So we're going to do that. Couple long stitches. Now, if I was going to, you know, I don't know, make this into a patch for a shirt or something like that, I probably wouldn't do 1 long stitch because that would probably get caught and stuff, and I don't want to have that happen. Oh, let's see. How much thread do I have here? Is this enough to go the distance here? Yeah. I think it's cutting it too close. I'm going to get a fresh piece. Just take one out of here. And then this will still be a long piece when I'm done with it, and I can fold it in half for later for the Singer machine. Oh, I keep forgetting, so you can tell that I'm kind of new to using needle minders because I still just set my needle down when I had a needle minder there to use. Alright, so I just have the 1 strand now. I'm going to start with these little itty bitty, you know, the spool, like little twisties on there. And then we'll actually thread this machine. So I'm going to weave in the end. Because I don't have the 2 strands this time, I just have the 1, so I got to weave in the end. Can't do the double loop method thing. Kimberly, I would, first of all, I think you've spelled it correctly, so that's step number 1. I would do a search on Etsy, honestly. I think it's hard to find. I might search some out. I think I'd like to maybe have some of it in the shop eventually here. Because, you know, we use it enough that, and it's hard enough to find that it would be nice to have in the shop, so, but I don't have it there now. I would just do a search on Etsy. There's some different kinds. I think when they get more colorful, like purples and stuff and that sort of thing, then it's not quite that super, super shiny, like gold kind, but I don't know. If you find some on Etsy, and if you post it in like the Penguin and Fish Crafters group, a picture of it, I'm thinking I could, or at least someone else, if not someone else, I can, in the group, say if that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think that's probably the best bet. I think Sublime Stitching carries it every once in a while, but I don't know if they have it now. Ooh, this is kind of cute with just the 1 little strand on the inside here. Oh, so Kimberly says that she was using the DMC brand. So it's, I mean, DMC is a great brand, but it's just anytime these places try and do this metallic thread, it's always kind of tough. Um, it's because it's not always metallic thread. It's that like white filament on the inside that they're wrapping with something, and it just doesn't function as well as, cotton thread. Ooh, shoot, I got a big loop on here. Oh, bummer. I wonder how far back that was. Oh well, I got a crazy loop on the back. Boo. Hate when that happens. It seems stuck there though. I usually have my hand back here so I can notice it, but it was just one strand, so I probably couldn't feel it be stupid there. Oh well. Okay, so let's thread our machine. I'm going to start here. I got to really think about this, how this is threaded. So I'm going to go all the way across to here. Oh, you know what? I think I missed a little gold. I missed a little, like a single gray stitch. This was supposed to be a gray stitch here, and now I almost want to go and do it. I might put that gray stitch in yet, because that's this part of the thread goes through there, so I kind of need it. So I might go back and put it in. All right, then it goes down here. I think I might put that silly little stitch in there. Boo, I wish I would have caught that. Okay, so we are kind of really threading this. Let's go. It goes down to the side next. It's really kind of a weird machine, so we don't actually see this side, but this is kind of where it goes. Like so, and then I'll come back up here. Then it goes through the eye of this thing. This is coming up at the same spot. Okay, and then it goes kind of right at the point here. It actually wraps around the point, so it's actually rubbing against the side of the machine here, which I always thought was kind of weird, but I think that's how it's done. It's like literally rubbing against the edge of the machine. And then it goes down to, there's a little like eye hook thing right here. And then through the needle about like so. It's fun. It does feel like I'm threading this a bit. All right, there we go. And then these guys can come. So I'm going to just do some back stitches for this. Ooh, shoot, look at that. Get another loop in there. Like 3 back stitches maybe. These are the little the bobbin thread and the top thread coming off here. Wow, it's kind of fun stitching with one thread. Oh, I could have, yeah, that might have been a good idea. Instead of going like way down and then coming way back up, I could have just like gone underneath the back of a stitch and kind of sat at the same spot, but I had a lot of threads, so. Took this route. That stitch could have been placed better, but oh well. This is it right here. Oh, actually not. I gotta go back up and make that one little loop there. But all in all, we have a threaded sewing machine here. I do want to get that extra gray stitch, which is just so silly, but that's gonna bother me if I don't have that stitch, just because it's a mechanical part of, or it's a physical part of this sewing machine where this thread goes through, and if it's just floating in space, that'll make me sad. So let's find some gray. Must have a little bit sitting around here. just need enough for a tiny, tiny stitch. I think I'm going to just actually we'll pull a strand out of here already, but I'm going to just steal a little bit of one. And I think I'm going to do that fold in half method still, just because I like it. So let's, literally, this is like what I need, is the tiniest amount. So I'll fold this in half and use it tomorrow. I need a single stitch here. Ah, this is annoying that I have to go back for one stitch, but I suppose I didn't have to. But it's going to make me happy knowing it's there. There we go, right here. It's got to go through. The thread's got to go through. Let's catch that loop. And I'm just going to weave in the end, and that's that. That's all that needed to happen. Still a little difficult to weave in the ends without, or with the edge of the hoop right there. Okay, that is that. I'm going to just leave this crazy loop that happened. But other than that, I think we are good. So there is the first embroidery done. I'm liking that. All right, so tomorrow I will start this feller, and I don't know, but I suspect this one might go a whole lot faster because there's none of all these extra little lines on the inside of this guy. This one's much more smooth and streamlined than like our super industrial looking guy here. But all right, you guys. Awesome. So that went well. I'm really happy that we are able to finish that up tonight. Again, I was not expecting to get that far. I thought we'd still have to do the satin stitch and all that. But yeah, this is great. So we can start the Singer one tomorrow. That's this one. And again, I have that stick and stitch stabilizer that's already pre-printed, and we're going to start with that. So we'll stitch that up hopefully by Wednesday, Thursday. We'll work on that, and then we'll take off that stick and stitch on Friday. So we'll do that with the water that I'll have like 2 little bowls of water that we'll do that in. And then we can dry it right away too with the iron, and I'll show you that process. So that'll be great. I'm excited to get that done, and that does not take a long time. So if that's all we have to do on Friday, then maybe we can do something fun like wrap the hoop and turn this into like a cute little hanger, something that we can hang up by my computer to remind me to go take some time and go sewing a little bit, or I'll hang it up out here just because I think it's just cute as a little portrait of this guy. So awesome. So thank you guys so much again. This is a pattern available just for this month. It is January's embroidery of the month. I almost said February's. Oh my God. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. So yeah, so we'll be here tomorrow night, starting this Singer one. Oh, this is, the embroidery of the month. It's available as a bundle that has all the everything you see here, basically, the thread and the fabric and needles and a hoop and the stick and stitch stickers as well, along with the PDF pattern. And then there's also just the PDF pattern on itself available. So check the links below for those, and we'll be stitching this for the rest of the week. Awesome, you guys. Thanks again for joining me live here. I appreciate it a ton. And I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.